If you're a woman aged 35 or over and you've struggled to lose weight, I'm about to reveal to you a secret that the diet industry definitely does not want you to know. It's a big secret, and they guard it very closely because it makes them billions of dollars. And yet it's something that affects you and women just like you all over the world every day. But listen, before I share this secret with you, I have to warn you. It's pretty controversial. It may upset you. It may confuse you. It may make you feel frustrated. But I want to make you a promise. Stick with it. Hear me out. Watch this short video until the end, and I promise you'll be so glad you did. You'll practically want to jump for joy. Why will you be so glad? Because you'll finally understand how easy it can really be to lose weight. How the pounds can just melt away almost without you doing anything. And how they can stay away forever and give you a new lease of life. And all that knowledge comes from this one little secret I'm about to share with you right now. Are you ready? The secret that the diet industry is keeping from you is that they want you to be heavy. They want you to weigh more than you'd like. They want you to struggle to fit into your favorite jeans, and they want you to be unhappy about it. In fact, most of their programs are designed to give you weight loss in the short term and then make you pile the pounds back on in the future. Of course, if you're like any normal person, you're probably wondering the same question that I used to wonder. Why are they doing it this way? The answer is greed, pure and simple. If you think about it, it's called the diet industry, right? It's a business. And like any business, they want money, as much of it as possible. If they gave you the real secret to losing weight, you'd burn off the fat so quickly and easily you'd never need them again. Can you imagine if Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig gave you that secret at your very first meeting? You'd drop so many pounds you'd never need to go back. Don't worry, I'll tell you the secret in a little bit, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. There are 3 secrets, in fact, and they're so secretive and controversial, the diet and food industry actually work in cahoots to keep them from you. But before I reveal them to you, seriously think about this for a second. If you really knew how to drop the fat and keep it dropped, you'd never need to diet again, would you? Of course not. Neither would anybody else. And that would mean the diet industry no longer makes the billions of dollars it makes now. But the fat cats running all those companies, they're greedy. They want to keep their billions. They want to make more billions, in fact. So they want it to be almost impossible for you to lose weight. They want to tease you at first, let you drop a few dress sizes, and then have you pile all the weight back on and come running back to them a few months later. And let's face it, we've all experienced how sad and depressing that can be. When you feel like you did great, like a diet really helped you look and feel your best, but then when you try to go back to a more normal way of eating, boom, the pounds are suddenly back. And it's so much easier to gain them than it is to lose them, isn't it? But don't worry. In this short but extremely valuable presentation, I'm going to reveal 3 powerful weight loss secrets that the food and diet industries are desperate for you to not find out. Oh, and it'll make you much healthier in every aspect of your life too. But you really must watch all the way through. This video is controversial, and I honestly don't know how long it'll be online for. If you don't watch until the end right now, I can't promise you'll get another chance. This is not information that's being shared elsewhere, so this really is your best bet at finding out the truth. Now, pay close attention because I'm about to reveal to you the first secret about losing weight. This is information that's backed up by countless medical studies, but is not given to the masses. And there's a chance that even your own doctor wouldn't tell you this. Secret number 1 is the great sugar lie. For decades, we've been told fat is what makes us fat and gives us heart attacks and many other issues. We've been encouraged to scan the ingredients of everything we eat and avoid the fats like the plague. The truth is that ordinary old sugar is almost definitely doing way more damage to your weight loss efforts right now. not to mention your overall health and life expectancy. I'm not talking about a spoonful of sugar or two in your coffee each morning. I'm talking about the hidden sugar lurking in so much of what we eat these days. The giant food corporations know that not only does sugar make everything taste better, but it's also possible for humans to become addicted to it. So they cram their foods full of it without you even realizing, making sure that most people are eating dangerous amounts of it without knowing. How do they do that? They do it in two very sneaky, shady ways. The first is by hardly ever calling it sugar. There are actually 61 different names in use today for plain old sugar. The food manufacturers do this to sneak it under your radar and keep their food tasting great, all the while tricking you into thinking it's healthy. But when they're calling it things like corn sweetener, fructose, corn syrup, dextrin, dextrose, fruit juice, maltose, and Lord knows what else, how on earth are you supposed to know they're actually saying a food is packed with sugar? They hide behind tiny loopholes in the laws regarding food labeling, and the health of the entire country suffers as a result. In fact, in 2012, in a study published by the U.S. National Library of Health, it was found that 75% of packaged foods sold in the U.S. contain added sugar. And in most cases, those sugars are not clearly labeled. Let's take a nice, innocent bottle of soda, for example. We all know it's not great for us and that it contains sugar, but most of us don't know exactly how much. According to this label, it contains high fructose corn syrup, which we now know means added sugar. But if you look at the carbohydrate and sugar section, you see the real truth. 66 grams of sugar. That's more than 4 heaping tablespoons. You could bake an entire cake with that much sugar, and it would taste great. Yet we consume that much in a single bottle of soda. According to the World Health Organization, the healthy amount of sugar a person can eat is 25 grams a day for women and 37 grams a day for men. Yet one single bottle of soda contains almost 3 times that much. And unfortunately, it's happening with almost everything you're eating and drinking. The American Heart Association says that on average, each person in America is consuming about 66 pounds of added sugar per year without even realizing it. It's fairly obvious that's an unhealthy amount, isn't it? 66 pounds a year works out to almost 1.33 pounds of extra sugar every week, an extra 2,252 calories. That's about 46 tablespoons of sugar each week, almost 7 tablespoons every day. Let's be honest, you wouldn't expect to lose weight and get more healthy if you were consciously eating 7 tablespoons of sugar a day, would you? Of course not. In fact, that's a perfect recipe to gain weight. It only takes an extra 3,500 calories for your body to gain 1 pound of fat. So, if you're eating the average amount of sugar that most Americans do each week, you're going to put on 0.64 pounds of fat every week, without even trying. That's more than 2.5 pounds a month, just from the hidden sugars in everyday food that most people eat. And some of that food is labeled as being healthy or diet. Unfortunately, as well as being a recipe to make sure you never fit into your skinny jeans again, sugar can also be a death sentence. According to many studies with incredibly well-respected scientists and doctors, like this one, increased sugar intake puts you at direct risk of diabetes, obesity, heart disease, strokes, and many other life-threatening illnesses. In fact, we're even starting to see reports of how sugar triggers cancer cells in certain people. Now that's secret number 1, the great sugar lie. And now that you know it, it's pretty obvious how dangerous it is and how it's been affecting your weight loss efforts, isn't it? Unfortunately, that's not the only secret I have to share with you. Like I said before, this is stuff the diet and food industry will never reveal. But I feel it's my duty to spread the word and help more people take control of their health and their lives. Because let's face it, The number we see on the scale each morning really affects the way we feel about ourselves, doesn't it? Of course it does. And I believe you should be in control of that, not some big faceless corporation that's trying to make you gain weight so they can make more money. That's why I'm about to share secret number 2 with you: big fat lies. If you asked most people about eating fat, they'd say it's bad for you. You probably would too, right? Of course, it's what we hear from a young age. Everybody knows fat is bad, right? Well, sure, we all know it. But the thing is, it's not quite true. And in fact, it wasn't something that most people thought about at all until July 1976. Let me explain why. In July 1976, Senator George McGovern called a Senate hearing about American diets. The reason? In the previous 10 or 15 years, 8 senators had died in office of heart disease, and the other senators were worried about their own health as a result. Back then, we knew far less about diet and nutrition than we do now. Senator McGovern called in witnesses such as Harvard professors and a man named Nathan Pritikin as nutrition experts on helping people live longer. Their advice? Eat less fat. Replace the fat in your diet with carbohydrates. So you should eat less meat, eggs, things like that, and replace them with potatoes and pasta and rice. These days, that sounds crazy. We know that eating lots of carbs like potatoes and rice is a surefire route to obesity. And we also know that the right kinds of fat are actually very good for you and will help you lose weight. But back then, they thought all fat was bad. And that thinking has directly affected your life and everybody else's in the last 40 years. Why? Because that Senate hearing led to the creation of the very first American Dietary Guidelines. So for years and years, people thought it was actually healthy to eat things like pretzels and potato chips and lots of other carb-heavy foods, just as long as we avoided the fat. So those guidelines turned into an obesity epidemic and harmed millions of us, and continue to do so today. How? Simple. The money-grabbing food industry. They saw the low-fat, high-carb theme as an opportunity to create a whole new range of foods. Things like fat-free frozen yogurt, fat-free cookies and muffins. You name it, there was a no-fat option. And there still is. You just have to walk around your local supermarket to see it for yourself. And because it's low-fat, they were allowed to label these foods as healthy options. But it's not healthy at all. Not even in the same ballpark as healthy, because they add a ton of sugar to replace the fat, because they want to make sure it still tastes good enough to keep you buying it. And as we've already seen, all that extra sugar is no good at all, which is what kicked America into the obesity, diabetes, and heart disease crisis we're in right now. It's not a coincidence that all those things began to skyrocket after those guidelines were put into place. In fact, doctors and nutritional experts now believe that we may be the first generation to have shorter lives than our parents. And here's the real kicker. We know now that many types of fat are actually good for you. Every cell in your body, all 45 trillion of them, contains fat and uses fat to perform its daily functions. Doesn't it seem obvious then that some kinds of fat would be good for you? On top of that, this study of thousands of women over a 7.5-year period conclusively proved that a lower fat diet doesn't lead to the kind of weight loss and healthiness that most people think. They followed 48,000 women in various countries for almost 8 years, and they found that on a lower fat diet, the average woman lost 4.84 pounds in the first year. And after maintaining that diet for close to 8 years, they had gained 3.96 pounds of it back. To put that a simpler way, they avoided fat for 8 years and lost almost 5 pounds in the first year, and gained 4 pounds of it back over the next 8 years. So they lost a pound in 8 years. I don't know about you, but after dieting for 8 years, I'd like to lose more than a pound. When you think of it like that, it's pretty obvious cutting fat out of your diet isn't the best way to lose weight and get healthy, is it? And that leads me to secret number 3, the yo-yo effect. This is the thing that keeps the diet industry rich and happy, and keeps ordinary people like you and me in a state of frustration and afraid to step on our bathroom scales. Picture the scene. Your BFF finds a hot new diet and gives it a try. You see her lose weight, so you decide to try it too. The diet involves you cutting down to minimal calories and gives you a clear idea of what you can and can't eat. Perfect, right? Well, you lose 2 or 3 pounds in the first week, so it really does seem perfect. You're craving your foods you miss, but that's dieting, right? That's just part of it. After the first month, you've dropped 9 or 10 pounds, so you're happy. By the end of the second month, you've dropped 15 pounds, which is pretty close to where you wanted to be. You're really craving all the good food that the diet won't let you have, so you start to let yourself cheat a little bit. One little meal won't hurt, right? Surely one dessert, a few glasses of wine, they won't make a difference, will they? And before you know it, just a couple of weeks later, you're back where you started, after packing all 15 pounds back on in record time. 2 months of dieting wasted in just 2 weeks. And that's the yo-yo effect. You've been through that. I know I've been through it. Just about every woman on the planet has been through it. And of course, the diet industry loves it because it keeps you going back to their programs. It keeps you buying all the low-fat food we talked about before. It keeps them rich, and it keeps you unhappy about yourself because that's what they want. But here's the thing, and this is the thing even your doctor probably won't tell you. There's a reason that dieting goes in a yo-yo like that. It's a very simple reason, and once you understand it, you'll probably never experience it again. You see, it comes down to one of the most very basic rules of human biology. Muscle is more nutritious than fat. When you're dieting, you hope to lose fat, right? The way it works is that the body doesn't get enough calories, so it starts to break down some of the fat you have in reserves and use that for energy instead. Sounds great, right? Well, it does, but there's a catch. Yup, you guessed it. It's the whole muscle being more nutritious than fat thing. So when you're low on calories, your body will actually break down your muscle before it breaks down fat. And if your goal is to lose weight, that's great, because muscle is heavier than fat. But if your goal is to lose weight to look better, there's a real problem. Because the muscle isn't the unsightly thing, it's the fat. So you'll be lighter, but you'll still have your muffin top and the fat at the top of your arms that you hate. And to make it worse, losing the muscle is what makes you yo-yo in the first place. Let's say your body needs 1,500 calories a day to survive. You do some of those online calculators and figure out that if you keep it to 1,200 calories or so, you'll be dropping the pounds quite nicely. So you start with the diet, giving yourself a 300 calorie per day deficit, and the pounds start falling off. But it's muscle weight. And your muscles are what actually make you burn calories in the first place. So as you lose muscle, you burn less calories. Technically speaking, your metabolism slows down. And suddenly, your body doesn't need 1,500 calories a day anymore. It's down to 1,400, and then 1,300, and then 1,200. So you're starving your ass off and eating 1,200 calories a day, but you hit a plateau and stop losing weight. What happens next? After 2 months, you're probably sick and tired of eating so little. So maybe you treat yourself a little bit. And we all know the next part. Suddenly, your weight balloons back up and you're back to square one, or even heavier than square one. You've probably experienced it dozens of times. I know I have. But why does it happen? It happens because when you diet like that, you lose more muscle than fat. So when you allow your body to again eat a normal amount of calories, you've got less muscle to burn the calories. So the normal amounts of food you eat are going to be stored as more fat. And it becomes a vicious cycle. Next time you diet, you'll lose more muscle, and the time after you'll lose more, which makes the yo-yo more and more extreme each time. and practically guarantees you'll struggle to lose weight and keep any of it off. And don't worry, I'm not just making this up. In May 2016, both People.com and FoxNews.com reported on a study published in Obesity, a clinical research journal on the subject of weight loss. The guys at Obesity performed a scientific study on 14 of the 16 contestants from The Biggest Loser's 2010 season, and the results were shocking. It turns out that 13 of the 16 contestants that year had quickly regained all the weight they'd lost, and 4 of them were even heavier than when they started. It turns out that the people who lost the most weight were also the ones who had slowed down their metabolism the most. And as we know from what we just talked about, a slower metabolism makes it much harder for you to keep any weight off your body. Here's a link to that study so you know I'm telling the truth. So what does it all mean? Each of those 3 secrets showed you the same thing, that the diet industry makes its money by keeping you unhappy with your body, so you go back to them time and time again. Wouldn't you honestly prefer a simple way to lose weight that just works and allows you to keep it off? That's what I was desperate for, and is honestly the reason I became a naturopath. I could see that traditional medical doctors were not helping. They were giving out advice and diet pills left and right, and the country was still getting fatter and more unhealthy. And that's what I mean when I tell you it's not your fault your weight may be out of control. You've been manipulated, and you've been lied to. We are basically hogtied and force-fed information that's harmful to us and harmful to our health. And it only happens because keeping you this way creates an easy fortune for the diet and food industries. Thankfully, life doesn't have to be that way. After literally years of research, I discovered something that can help you reset your metabolism and allow you to quickly and easily drop the fat that's been clinging to your body for years. Not only that, but it can cleanse your body of the toxins that are everywhere in the modern life. And these are a huge part of most people's weight issues too. This is information I've used to help my friends and family make huge transformations in their body makeup and also their general health. I've seen people lose weight, clear up their skin, look younger, get more energy, just about everything a person could want. It's called Green and Clean, and for the first time ever, I'm making it available to the public. There are a few things you absolutely must know about this, but before I get into them, I want you to hear what Amira said after they tried it.
Hey, I just don't know what to say. I've been struggling to lose weight ever since my first child, and the scale wouldn't go down. A friend at work told me about the Green and Clean method. I liked it because it was simple, it made sense, and it actually worked. Losing weight is hard enough, but it's worse with the crazy risks some diets have. The Green and Clean method actually not only made me lose weight, but also gave me that glow my skin had been missing.
You're probably wondering exactly what Green and Clean is, so let me break it down for you. Green and Clean is a simple yet powerful guide to the nutrition your body really wants, the stuff it's craving to help you drop pounds quickly and easily, and actually keep them off. On top of that, it will show you how to cleanse your body of all the bad stuff lurking in there that forces you to struggle and constantly be a yo-yo dieter. It's all you need to cleanse your body and allow yourself to find your true natural weight and reset your metabolism to where it's naturally supposed to be. On top of that, it'll show you just how many harmful toxins are already in your body and how you can get rid of them quite easily. Something most people don't understand is that our modern diets are so full of things that our bodies aren't designed to eat. Additives, preservatives, man-made sugars, that you're probably carrying 30 or 40 pounds of extra weight on your frame just from that alone. After all, If you've spent years and years eating all that added sugar like we talked about before, it's quite easy to see how that can be the case, isn't it? Green and Clean will show you how to reset that and go back to how you're supposed to look and feel. To find your natural weight. None of us are naturally overweight or obese. And once you reset your system, you'll see how easy it can be to be your most healthy, happy self. This is a simple-to-understand downloadable book that you can read on your computer or on your phone or tablet. You can even print it out if you'd prefer to. Here's a little of what you'll see inside. Why toxins in your body are practically forcing you to weigh more than you want to, and how you can release them and flush them out quicker than you think and unlock the easiest weight loss you'll ever experience. The real reason you feel hungry even though you just ate, and how to banish that feeling and go back to feeling naturally full and satisfied. How to control the 3 hormones that force you to eat more food than you actually need. How to quickly crank your metabolism back up and make it torch the fat from your body, and why daily life strangled it and slowed it to a crawl in the first place. How your organs can naturally detox, but why the modern world is overloading them, and how you can fix it. The smart and fast way to boost your immune system to maximum strength. This will aid your ability to burn calories and lose weight the natural way that makes it stay lost. Why you can't ever trust a traditional diet to help you lose weight permanently. How the diet industry and food industry are in cahoots to keep you overweight and make you struggle every day of your life. This will make you angry, but you'll be so glad you know it. How you personally can lose weight probably easier than you ever have in your life by following a simple 14-day plan and feel like a rock star at the end of it. And that's just a tiny idea of what's inside. You'll probably find the answer to so many questions about your body, it'll be like opening your eyes for the first time. Here's what a few more people have said about it.
Hi, I'm Amanda, mother of 2 twin boys. Despite being an active person all my life, I had been putting on several pounds every year since the birth of my children. The struggle became so real when I realized that my cholesterol was off the charts. Frequent doctor visits really never helped or, did anything. Well, I decided to discuss this with my friend Clara, who's a fitness enthusiast, and she told me about the Green and Clean program. The difference was invaluable, not only to my health, but also to my skin, and not to mention my self-esteem. I've dropped 24 pounds since I began the program, and people have noticed how much healthier and better I look, which is the best feel-good factor ever.
Inside this astonishing guide, you'll discover how to make green juices that are amazingly beneficial for your body and allow you to kickstart your metabolism and flush away all the dangerous toxins. You may have noticed that over the past couple of years, you've heard people talk about superfoods and certain kinds of juices that are great for your body. There's been a trend of people doing fruit juice cleanses and things like that. And I have to tell you, this is nothing like that. Remember when we talked about sugar earlier and how dangerous it can be? Well, when you do a fruit juice cleanse, you are basically foregoing your body's nutrition and making it live off nothing but sugar. And not only is that extremely bad for you because of the sugar itself, it is absolutely catastrophic for your metabolism. Think about it. Your muscles require protein and fats to function properly. But if you're living off nothing but sugar, you're not getting those things. And you're also not getting enough calories, which basically means your muscles are going to be wasting away for 2 different reasons. But the end result will be a super slow metabolism, because you'll be left with hardly any muscle to burn the calories you eat. And yes, you know what that means. It means that as soon as you stop the juice cleanse, you're quickly going to regain all the weight you added, and a whole lot more. But no, that's not what's going to happen to you here. With green juices, it's different. You're not going to be living off sugar or anything else like that. Instead, you're packing your body with the nutrients it needs, with the nutrients it's probably crying out for. You're giving your organs the superfoods and specific vitamins and minerals they need to once again start functioning properly. You're allowing your hormones to reset and have them retrain your entire system into being a lean, mean, fat-burning machine, the way Mother Nature intended. Here's some specifics about what the green juice chapters will teach you. how to spend just 2 minutes making a green juice that will rapidly detox your body and put you on the fast track to losing weight. And all you need is a blender. The exact right kind of smoothie that'll wake up your metabolism and have you burning more fat every minute of every day. And it's so delicious you'll actually look forward to drinking it. Why your skin is being damaged and prematurely aged by the toxins in your body, and how green juice can prevent this process and even reverse it. How to get relief from periods and help during menopause by drinking a green juice with just the right ingredients. And so much more. Now, I want to be straight with you about something. The things you'll learn from Green and Clean could definitely improve your life. Forcing the toxins from your body, kickstarting yourself into burning more fat than you ever have before. It's pretty obvious how beneficial that can be, isn't it? Here are a few more people that have been helped.
Hi, my name is Claire, and I am a 36-year-old diabetic. And about 2 years ago, my sister-in-law approached me about a Green and Clean method, and it's actually a detox program. She was using it to lose baby weight, and at that time, my energy levels were super low. I was tired all the time. So I decided to try the detox program too because she had amazing results. And let me tell you guys, my life has been changed forever. My insulin levels have normalized. I lost 16 pounds. My skin is beautiful and my energy levels have tripled, which is insane. So overall, I'm really, really happy. And like I said, it's been 2 years since I started the program, and I plan on continuing it, for the rest of my life because I feel better than ever before.
Those are all real and verified customers from my records. After seeing how much Green and Clean is helping them, it's quite obvious that the information inside could help just about everybody on the planet, isn't it? You, your loved ones, just about everyone. After all, we all struggle to lose weight from time to time, and Lord knows we're constantly bombarded with toxins and chemicals that are not good for us. So in just a moment, I'll reveal exactly how to get your hands on your own copy of Green and Clean. But first, I want to ask you a question. Because let's be honest with each other, dropping pounds and pounds of fat and getting back to being your vibrant self, full of life and energy and health, that's definitely going to make your life better, isn't it? You've already seen the remarkable stories of some of my customers. You've seen how they're getting huge benefits and experiencing whole new leases of life just by following the steps I've laid out for you in Green and Clean. So now the big question is, do you want changes like that in your life? If you don't, you can go ahead and close this video now before we go any further. But if you do want changes like that, how much are they worth to you? How much would it be worth to fit into your jeans again? How much to go back to shopping for the smaller sizes? How much is it worth to no longer feel ashamed or embarrassed about your body? And to get back your energy and enjoyment for life that you used to have? For me personally, I'd have paid thousands for that. I'd have paid anything, to be honest. In fact, I did pay thousands. I spent a small fortune researching this stuff and finally becoming an expert. Not to mention the countless hours I spent experimenting on myself. Different ingredients, different recipes, constant trial and error until I found a way to really take back my health and be in control of my weight for good. But thankfully, it doesn't have to cost you that much, and you don't have to go through the trial and error. Of course, if the giant food corporations got their hands on this information, they'd tell you to keep eating their healthy food and keep cutting more and more calories to lose weight. Because they'd just love for you to go back to how things were before you saw this video, with you eating whatever they tell you to because it's healthy. But then forever wondering why you can't be one of the skinny girls. The fact is, you can get behind this now, or you could spend your life eating the foods they tell you are healthy and will help you lose weight. And you'd probably only get bigger and bigger, I'm sorry to say. But I want to give you the opportunity to get out in front of this right now and do it affordably. Because of this, my team and I set out to keep the price of Green and Clean down as much as we possibly could. And it honestly wasn't an easy thing to do. What with all the research, the upkeep of this website, the cost of getting this video produced, You could be forgiven for thinking it would cost you hundreds of dollars to get this information. Don't get me wrong, it would be completely worth it. After all, resetting your body and allowing yourself to unlock your natural body weight and become much healthier, that's priceless. But no, I'm not asking you to pay that much at all. You see, I'm in this to help people. If I was doing it to make a lot of money, I'd be working with the diet industry, not posting videos like this that they really don't want you to see. But I'm not. So I don't want you to pay hundreds of dollars. I want this to be completely affordable and something you trust. And speaking of trust, I'm also going to give you a ridiculous guarantee. Now, I can't legally guarantee that Green & Clean will help you lose weight or can cure any kind of medical condition. It's illegal to make claims like that about anything. But what I am allowed to do is guarantee your satisfaction, or put my money where my mouth is, as my hubby sometimes says. Here's how that works. If you order Green & Clean right now, you're protected by my 60-day, no questions guarantee. And that means you've got 60 days to try it out. 60 days to read it, give it a try, and see what it does for you. If it gives you what you're looking for, that's great. But if it doesn't, just let us know at support@greencleanmethod.com and you'll get a full and prompt refund. Deep down, I don't think it's okay to take somebody's money if they don't like my book. So it doesn't matter if it doesn't work for you. Doesn't matter if you don't like the layout or the pages. Doesn't even matter if it does work for you and you just plain old changed your mind about the purchase. Just let me know and you get your money back. Scout's honor. Now, it's about time I told you exactly how much Green & Clean is going to cost you. But I must warn you, even though it's clearly worth hundreds of dollars, the actual price is way less than you're probably thinking. If you hit that button immediately, you get Green & Clean for just 10 cents a day. The actual purchase price is just $37, but if you spread that over the next year, it works out to just a smidge over 10 cents a day. Because after all, the benefits of losing weight and keeping it off and thoroughly detoxing your system, they're going to stay with you for at least a year, aren't they? They could stay with you for the rest of your life, in fact. They could even add years to your life. So 10 cents a day is nothing when you think about it like that. What else could you spend your 10 cents a day on? Not much. It comes out to just over $3 a month. So maybe you could buy a newspaper or a cup of coffee. But let's face it, those things aren't going to arm you with the information to give yourself a complete health revolution, are they? And $37 as a total price, that's just a drop in the ocean compared to the benefits to your life. $37 may get you a meal and some drinks for two if you're lucky. But that's not going to help you drop the pounds and become your healthiest, is it? Think about it. If you got even half the results you've seen some of my previous customers get, that would be huge for you, wouldn't it? Wouldn't you pay $37 for that, or just 10 cents a day? That's honestly probably less than it costs for a single doctor visit. And how many doctor visits will you avoid by being super healthy and dropping weight? And when you remember that you're completely protected by my 60-day guarantee, you'll notice that this really is a no-risk situation for you. So listen, I've done my absolute best to make this into a no-brainer for you. But whether you realize it or not, you're standing at a crossroads with two clear paths. On your left is the way things are right now, your current life, weight problems, the sadness and frustration of yo-yo dieting, the health problems that go along with getting older and being heavy. It's not a pretty picture, is it? If you continue on that path, only one thing is certain. You'll get a little more unhealthy and a little heavier every day, and you'll be unhappy. After all, most women weigh more at 60 than they do at 45, wouldn't you say? So it's just a matter of time for most people. It'll slowly but surely sneak up on you. You'll probably start noticing more and more aches and pains that never quite seem to leave. It'll be a little worse each time you get out of bed in the morning. That's the feeling of all those toxins in your system setting up shop and doing all the damage they can. And that's the path you're on right now. The path of almost everybody who doesn't know the secrets I've shared with you in this video. Or you can make the other choice by taking the other path. The path I wish everybody could take. The path that allows true freedom and health. The path where you order Green and Clean right now and are reading it in the next minute and a half. The path where this time tomorrow, you're already on your way to the new you. The path where you take control and once again feel powerful and in charge of your own destiny. The path where your body finds a new lease of energy, nutrition, and wellness. And so instead of waking up a little less healthy every day and a little more overweight, you'd wake up a bit healthier each day. You'd jump out of bed instead of dragging yourself like you have lead weights tied to your feet. If you think about it logically, it's an easy choice, especially when you consider that you get your money back if it doesn't work for you. Click the button below to order now and claim your new life for yourself. Take control and get the life you deserve. Clean and Green is available by instant download 24/7, 365. So you'll have it in the next 2 minutes, even if it's 2 a.m. on a Sunday morning. Now, if you're still listening, I want to level with you, if I may. Today, we've been on a journey together. I've shared with you some of the secrets of the diet and weight loss industry and how they're in cahoots with the food industry to keep people fat and keep their own pockets stuffed full of your money. You've seen how modern diets and lifestyles are damaging your body. You've seen how doctors aren't much help at all. And you've seen how these diets and this lifestyle is dramatically shortening our lifespans. And you've also seen how a simple, natural drink made from readily available superfood ingredients can help you combat those problems and give you your health and your best body back. And lastly, you've witnessed the two most important things. Number one, that you can begin changing your life and taking back control for just 10 cents a day. And number two, that if you don't like Green and Clean, and if it doesn't work for you, you get every penny refunded. So you have no risk, zero risk, and a whole new lease of life to gain. Now, it's decision time. We've been together in this journey up until this point, but I can't take this next step for you. I can't make this decision, and I can't reach out and click your mouse for you. It's up to you to make that choice and change the health of you and your family together. Hit the button below and place your order right now. You'll get access to your download immediately, and you can begin reading on your computer, phone, or tablet right away. Order now. You'll be so glad you did. I can't wait to hear how Green and Clean changes your life.